Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. We are back with some of the best C8 Z06 news in the most recent months. If you're a Corvette Stingray enthusiast, if you're a C8 Z06 enthusiast, then definitely buckle up because we have a lot of information to cover and a lot of ground to make. And so without wasting any more time, I'm going to dive right into it. If you wouldn't mind, scroll down just a little bit and hit that red subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, and at the end of it, definitely leave a comment in the comment section down below on your thoughts about this C8 Z06 news. And as always, I'll cover this information in the order that it was made available to us from a variety of different sources, so let's dive right in. First things first, thanks to John over at the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, he's made public a build sheet for a 2023 C8 Z06 that is a consumer car. His vehicle is still in quality control hold, but as you can see here, this is an official build sheet for a C8 Z06. It doesn't look to be a Z07 package, but it looks like a very well optioned 3LZ Z06 with some added accessories. And the cool thing to note here is that the color is listed as Rhythm and Blue, which is actually Elkhart Lake Blue to us consumers. And this reiterates some information that we've known with the Stingray, that there are two different sets of color names, both internal to the plant and development and assembly of the Corvette, and what we see on the consumer side. So it's really cool to see the build sheet reflect what the plants see and what the plants use for information. And it's also cool that these build sheets are now becoming available, because that means we are one step closer for these vehicles to finally be delivered. At this time, we do know that about 30 to 40 C8 Z06s for consumers have been built, but they have all been on extended quality hold, so General Motors can work out any kinks and make sure that all these vehicles are perfect before they end up in the hands of the consumer. Moving on to the next bit of information, we have some unconfirmed news. According to Matt Beaver from Whitmore Chevrolet on his Facebook, he did share that there is information that vehicles are going to begin shipping this week, which means that sometime next week we may actually have consumers and customers taking delivery of their C8 Z06. So be on the lookout, because Whitmore has some of the biggest names for the C8 Z06 on their customer list, which means odds are you're going to see an Amelia video or a Stradman video taking delivery of their C8 Z06. General Motors has officially shared, as of actually about a minute ago, a picture of the first C8 Z06 rolling off the assembly line. I imagine the 70th anniversary edition belongs to Hendrick Motorsports, since they were the winner of the Barrett-Jackson auction for the very first consumer's C8 Z06. So all very exciting news and great progress. I'll go over the LT7 rumors about the pictures that have leaked online of that motor sitting on a pallet a little towards the end of the video, since that's more speculation than it is fact. But based on both the Corvette forums and Corvette Blogger, we have information available to us that we may actually be getting more C8 Z06 allocations ahead of the proposed January allocation release. And this is the best and most exciting news in what has been pretty much an onslaught of production delays, production availability issues, parts constraints, and mixed information on how the C8 Z06 rollout was going to be handled versus how it is being handled. And so what we get now is information that the November 16th allocation cycle may potentially have Z06 allocations within it. So going back to July, when General Motors opened up at the end of July the C8 Z06 ordering books, people including myself were able to place their initial orders for the C8 Z06 at the end of July, and I had my order in like the first or second day of August. August 18th was the first release of allocation for the C8 Z06, and there was a lot of confusion. I covered that in 2 videos on the channel if you want to go back and review that information. But in a nutshell, within 3 groups of large, medium, and small dealerships, General Motors released C8 Z06 allocation. I myself didn't get an allocation because my dealership is very small, so I am hopeful that the next round of allocation gets them a car, which means I'm one step closer for my C8 Z06 from being built and delivered. Once that initial allocation was released, we found out that there were going to be no new allocations accepted for the Z06 through the end of 2022, pushing into January of 2023. And based on the screenshot made available to us, it seems that information has gone out in a dealer memo that shows both a black Z06 70th anniversary on the assembly line, which I imagine is part of the promo video is going to drop in a couple of days or in the next week or two about the first C8 Z06 production, kind of like they did with the C8 Stingray production. And based on information that we have, like I said, about 49 to be exact C8 Z06s have been produced since the start of September, which is about 2 vehicles per day. And there are rumors based on the information released today that that number and production quantity is going to be upticked as General Motors rolls into ramping up production for the C8 Z06, so that's additional good news. Based on this memo, you can see that the Z06 estimated shipments in Cycle 2 of each month starting with November Cycle 2 on 11/16. Cycle 1 is Stingray only for shipment. This memo also confirms some new information that the rewards threshold is not just reduced from 12 months to 6 months for the warranty being voided, but additionally the 500,000 loyalty points is also being reduced from 12 months to 6 months. There was some confusion around this initially because when they released it down to 6 months, they only disclosed in that memo that the warranty void period was 6 months, with no real clarity provided on the loyalty points, but this memo does confirm that to us. So as things appear, 11/16 is going to be the date to watch, because if there is more release of C8 Z06 allocation, then that at least gives us some indication that General Motors and Chevrolet is ramping this process up ahead of their intended schedule about 2 months ago. Based on some correspondence shared on the Corvette forums, we do know from a big name dealership that to a dealership, allocation and shipment is the same thing. So to them, when they get shipment releases, that's an allocation release. So that's all the fact-based information that we have based on everything that's been released on the forums, on various blogs and news outlets. So I hope you found this information helpful. Additionally, I want to cover a rumor about the LT7 that has been leaked. There is a lot to read in here, and first things first, thanks to the Corvette forum, we do have these pictures available to us about the LT7 label on a pallet. Yes, it's not the greatest news ever, but as you can see from this picture here, this is an LT6 Gamma LT7 Beta, so it looks like General Motors is going to begin testing the LT7 platform, which there's been a host of rumors about being an electric hybrid, there's been a host of rumors about it being a twin turbo motor, and it's hard to tell what they're going to do with the official information, but it is cool to see that there is the term LT7 being thrown around on various shipping and development products, which indicates that there is some merit to the rumors of a higher horsepower LT7. And the one thing no one's actually mentioned that I picked up in this picture is if you look at the cross brace support for the motor, zooming into the picture here, it has the label dyno written onto the cross brace, which indicates that this motor was probably shipped to have a motor dyno done on it to determine how much power this platform is looking to output, which is both very cool and exciting information for C8 enthusiasts. This may go into an eventual ZR1, this may go into a C8 Zora as it was dubbed a couple years ago. So there's a lot of information to come out, but it is cool to see these leaked images and try to piece together and validate some information that's been put out there. But that's all the information that I have available for today's video. We have our first build sheet, we have rumors that shipping will start for customer vehicles, which means deliveries are right around the corner. We do have confirmation from a couple of different sources that more allocations to allow for scheduling for more customer orders is on the way, so it will be interesting to see the quantities that are released come 11/16. And then lastly, obviously, we covered the LT7 label finally being used by General Motors to some remote official capacity. That's all the information that I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. If you wouldn't mind, go down in the comment section below and leave a comment. It'll show YouTube that my videos are more engaging and give me more impressions, meaning it will put my video in front of more people. And if you want to be ahead of the latest and greatest C8 Z06 news as it becomes available, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button for shorter bits of information. I may post a community post for longer bits of information or accumulation of a lot of information over the course of a short period. I'll make full-length videos for it and put it in front of everybody that's subscribed as fast as I can. And as always, thank you for watching and all the continued love and support. Until the very next video, I look forward to seeing all of you in the comment section below.